What's going on, and welcome to round 2 of our March Madness Bourbon Bracket Single Barrel Edition. Today we have Stagg Almost Hazmat up against Old Forester 100 Proof. In the first round we had CMB with the upset over CNA. The winner of this round will take on either Nash Tucky or Blanton's Gold, whoever wins that round. This is going to be an exciting one. Let's pour these up. Pause the video right now and comment in the comment section below who you think is going to win this round. And guys, it might not be Stagg, okay? Old Forester could pull this off. We don't know. Although it's probably going to be Stagg. I know what you're thinking. Listen, I'm going to do this blind still, even though there's really probably no point to it. But there's only one way that we do it here, and it is blind. So let's pour these up. We have B in glass B. We have A in glass A. We're going to pour these up. We're going to mix these up. And if I can't tell the difference between 100 proof and almost hazmat, we're going to have a pretty big issue here. Need a little more. Better. We've got them on our Whiskey Wisdom wheel. I don't know if I can say that 5 times, so let's mix these up. Let's find out which one's better. Again, does it really matter? I think they're pretty mixed up. And of course, my favorite part, time for the traditional sip. We're going to start over here. Cheers, y'all. And that's the Stagg. That bad boy is hot. If you didn't know, this one is coming in at 136.4 proof. Like I said, almost hazmat. It's got to be 140 plus to be hazmat, but that's pretty damn close. Let's get into our this glass over here. Tastes like water compared to what I was just drinking. So on our right over here, we do have Old Forester. This is owned by Brown-Forman. The mash bill is 72-18-10, I believe. On our left, we do have Stagg. This is coming from Buffalo Trace. This is mash bill number 1, which is the low rye mash bill. You can define low rye in your own terms. I say it's got to be 10% or less. I don't know if that's what this is, maybe 15% or less. I don't really know what low rye is anymore, but the thing about these two glasses is we can already tell which one's which. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really didn't have a lot of hope for Old Forester going into this, especially knowing it's going up against Stagg. Maybe if it went up against something lower proof like the Michter's 10-year, it would stand a chance. But right now, this particular glass, which I am pretty sure 99.99% is the Old Forester. If this isn't the Old Forester, then I'm done. I won't ever drink bourbon again. But I'm pretty sure this is the Old Forester, and it's very good. The flavor profile on this is actually my first time drinking this. Believe it or not, I actually sent out a bunch of samples for this because I did want it to sit open for some time before I did March Madness. So this is my first time sipping this. This is actually really, really good. I like the flavor profile on this. So I actually put out a barrel pick myself. It's called Boozy Fruit. It's from Blue Note. And I get that like juicy fruit kind of note to this. It definitely gives you a little bit of that sweetness. Almost tastes like a bubblegummy note on this. I don't hate that at all, which is why I picked it when we did the pick. I don't want to finish all of this, but I will say that is very good. I'm almost out already. I can probably pour up more because, again, I know which one's which. But let's get into this one over here. This was very hot to start, so I'm hoping I can overcome that heat. First glass of whiskey for the night and maybe get more into those notes and see what we like. Second sip already better, acclimating the palate just a little bit. We're going to go one more to really dive into it. This has like a big red flavor profile to it. Cherries, big red. You get that cinnamon, but it's like a sugary, but at the same time, spicy cinnamon. This was picked by Providence Wine and Spirits. Again, this is a single barrel coming in at 136.4 proof. The first couple of sips, very hot. But after I drank a little bit of this and then came back to this a couple of times, it's opening up very nicely. I can't get past that big red note. It hits you in like the bottom of your mouth here. I love it. There's nothing bad about it. It's definitely overwhelming when it comes to that cinnamon, but it's something that I truly enjoy. Definitely a lot of cherry on this. Like a sugary cherry. There's a lot of sweetness on this, but there's also a lot of spice on this because of that high octane, because of that high proof. It feels like a rye spice, but again, we already mentioned this is a low rye. I don't think there's a crazy high age statement on this, but it does give you some of those aged notes. It dries out the tongue a little bit, gives you that oak. This one over here we're working with, in case you didn't know, is Warehouse G Floor 4. Again, this is a warehouse package. It doesn't have any particular pick on here. But again, I'm going to revisit this. This is really good over here. Comparing and contrasting these two, they're obviously vastly different. You get sweetness on both of these though, which I really enjoy. Over here, it's that bubblegum sweetness, that confection candied sugar sweetness. Over here, it's that cherry sweetness. You still get that cinnamon, and sometimes cinnamon can be sweet. I do like cinnamon sugar on my toast in the morning, and it kind of reminds me of that, all the way down to like a burnt toast with cinnamon and sugar on it. Both phenomenal in their own respects, but which one's better? That's a pretty obvious answer. The only thing that's throwing me off about this glass over here, which is very weird to me, is when I drink Buffalo Trace, which is over here obviously, I do get a Band-Aid note, and for some reason, I got it on the first sip, so I can't say, oh, it's because I've been back and forth, and I'm still getting it on this sip right here. I don't know why I'm getting the Buffalo Trace Band-Aid note that I get on the Old Forester and not getting it on the Stagg. It's a very weird experience, unless I completely mess this up and somehow this is the Stagg. The crazy thing that I do enjoy about this glass right here is even at almost hazmat, I can like take a full whiff of this and I don't get like the ethanol into the back of my throat like you sometimes do. I've had lower proof stuff, and when you nose it, it like makes your eyes water a little bit. This isn't giving me this. This drink's way under 136 proof, I can tell you that. I mean, here by the fourth or fifth sip, it doesn't even take, I would blind this at like 120. 120, maybe 125 on like a bad day. But after a couple of sips of both of these, I would never tell you that this is almost hazmat. I'm not going to drag this video out for 5 or 6 more minutes just to tell you that Stagg won, again, assuming that this is Stagg. But what I will say is Old Forester had a tough round going up against Stagg. Next, it's going to have to go up against either Nash Tucky or Blanton's Gold. And I'm not counting Blanton's Gold out the way that I'm counting out Old Forester. But I will say, if it goes up against Nash Tucky, which is a stuff and whiskey pick in the 1500s, it was also supposed to be Stagg. We'll get into that in the next video, at least if they go up against each other. But what I will say is, this bottle right here is a lot better than I thought it was going to be, especially in comparison. I mean, we're talking about I traded a $214 bottle of Voyage for this, and this doesn't come anywhere close to that value on the secondary market or anywhere like that. So this bottle, for what it is, I will say is a fantastic pour. I'm very happy that I got to try it. I'm glad I have more in my collection because I do want to revisit this against some other Old Forester stuff. It's light, it's fruity, there's a little bit of bubblegum on this. Again, I don't hate this glass over here. I wish there was a little bit more spice for me, but I think that's probably because it's going up against this glass right here. It's wiping out all of the spice from my particular palate when I drink the Stagg. But this glass right here is very, very good. I can't recommend this more highly. We're going to finish these off real quick. I'm going to flip this over. We're going to tell you what it is. If you don't already know, I think I already do. If I got this wrong, I'm never drinking bourbon again, so you're never going to see this video anyway. But that being said, make sure you click that like and subscribe button on this video. Check us out on Discord and Patreon. Both those links in the description below. It's not too late to win some great prizes here on March Madness. Cheers, y'all. Before I flip this over and I give the big reveal, let me just tell you this. This glass right here is special. Not only is it a Stagg, not only is it a store pick, not only is it almost hazmat, but it is a very good damn glass of whiskey. I gotta tell you, in my particular collection, I have a lot of good whiskey up there. I don't know if there's many bottles that can beat this. We have a few over here that I think are contenders. That CMB is also fantastic. I think the Michter's 10-year is going to surprise some people. That Nash Tucky is good, and of course my Fiddler pick. But this glass right here, going forward, is going to be hard to beat. Let's find out what it was. A little bit left. And the answer is, in case I was wrong, that's right, it's B, folks. I mean, it's Stagg. Did we really have a question about it? Old Forester held its own. I can't be mad about this particular glass right here. If this went up against a couple other bottles in this, it might have done a little bit better, but it's going to be out in the first round. Stagg's going to move on. It's going to take on Blanton's Gold or Nash Tucky. We're going to find out that in round 3, but make sure you click that like and subscribe button. Like I said, Patreon, Discord, both those links in the description below. Follow me on Instagram. We're almost at 13,000. We'll do something big at like 15,000. I think that's a fair spot. Please don't drink and drive. Always drink responsibly. Stay healthy, stay happy, and stay picking up Stagg store picks as long as you can find them for the right price. Cheers, y'all.